And then finally over here we have TMs. TMs, of course, here are going to be really good. So it makes me want to get them. It does. TM13 is Ice Beam. 90 attack power, 100% accuracy, 10% chance of freezing the target, ice move, obviously. But it is, well, it's one I went over before, one of the best moves, especially ice moves, in the game. I like it a lot. Then we have Iron Tail, TM23. TM23 I don't like nearly as much. It's got 100 power, but it's only got 75% accuracy, so I don't like it too much. It is a steel type move, which is kind of rare in this game, so if you're looking for steel, this might be it for you. It has a 30% chance of lowering the opponent's defense as well. Then we have TM24, which is Thunderbolt, 90 power, 100% accuracy, electric move, with a 10% chance of paralysis. Pretty simple, pretty effective as well. TM30 here is Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is a ghost move, one of the few ghost moves. Obviously, this is not going to be available in red, blue, and yellow. 80 attack power, 100% accuracy, 20% chance of lowering the target's special defense by one stage. Then finally we have TM35, that is an attack power of 90, 100%, oh sorry, it's Flamethrower. Flamethrower, fire move, 90 power, 100% accuracy, 10% chance of, it's actually 95 attack power. I think it was the same for Ice Beam as well. Yeah, 95, and then they recently changed it to 90 for Generation 6. We're only on 3, so 95. And 10% chance of burning the target. Very good TMs that you can get here. And of course, those are not going to be what you can get in red, blue, and yellow, because all of those were available in the department store. So in red, blue, and yellow, your selection is a little bit more limited. You have Dragon Rage, TM23 it's called, for 3,300 coins. Dragon Rage will always do 40 damage. So it's good early on in the game, but it gets less effective as time goes on, because 40 damage kind of means less and less. Then you have access to Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam will cost you 5,500 coins, and then, yeah, I went over that's very, very powerful if used properly, especially in the first generation. So this is where you would want to get it if you're playing first generation and you know how to abuse it properly. Then finally, we have Substitute. Substitute is a strange move. I've never been that big of a fan of it, but it is very useful, especially in multiplayer fights. It'll cost you 7,700 coins. Substitute takes away a quarter of your health and puts kind of like a human shield out there, except it's a little Pokemon doll-looking thing. It will have the HP that pretty much you lose +1. And then your opponent will have to kill that substitute before actually hitting you. It's useful in multiplayer, but it's so kind of indirect in the single player version that I'm not a fan of it. But some people really do like their substitutes, and it can be useful in certain situations, but like I said, mostly multiplayer, so I wouldn't worry too much about it if you're just playing to try to beat the game. Alright, with all that done, let's see what all this hubbub is about. Let's go into the game corner. And here in the game corner, there's quite a bit we can do. I think these machines have different odds. I don't really believe you, to be honest with you. There's been a lot of research into it, and as far as I can tell, it's all conflicting and nobody can really agree on it. So I'm going to say that they all have the same odds. Kid, do you want to play? And he gives us 10 coins. Now, I have been in casinos in my life. The slot players will never give you a coin, ever, not even one. They will like hold their like little canisters of coins like it's a baby. They will not let it out of their sight sometimes. Keep this quiet. It's rumored that this place is run by Team Rocket. It's called Rocket's Game Corner. There's a sign outside and everything. We'll continue talking to people. These slot games, win or lose, it's only by luck. Yes, that's how slots work. Games are scary. It's so easy to get hooked. Hey, You have better things to do, champ in the making. Celadon's gym's leader is Erica. She is a user of grass-type Pokemon and at one with nature. She might appear docile because of her flower ranging, but she's not one to be taken lightly. So hey, it's the gym guy. He told us that there's grass here. If only I had something to counter grass. Oh wait, I do. Hey, what? You're throwing me off. Here are some coins. So, what did he say? But we got 20 coins from the man. The trick is to watch the reels closely. Sure it is. Like I said, I've never found a way to do it. What's up, want some coins? And we get 20 more coins from the nice guy. Like I said, you can get quite a few coins this way. But this is how you're probably going to want to get most of your coins. We already have 50. You can buy them for 1,000 and 10,000. You would think they would give you a discount. You'd be wrong. They just do the flat numbers. You can buy coins. I'm probably going to lose all my coins right here and now. No, please come play sometime. Welcome. You can exchange your coins for fabulous prizes next door. Yes, I can. All right, so let's see what all this is about. Actually, let's go ahead and leave because I'll show you one of the ones that people say is the winner. In all versions of the game, people say this one. The one below this woman right here. Every version that I've played, somebody says this one right here. This is always the winner. And you can see a little smiley face. I'm so happy to gamble. All right, so wager. I'm going to wager all 3. And then just go ahead and smack the buttons whenever. As far as I can tell, it doesn't always work. Hey, I made money. I made 5. We'll do a little bit more here. All right, max bet. I always max bet. People do say max bet. Yeah, I didn't get anything. Didn't get anything. All right, let's try it again. Still didn't get anything. This is much more standard. First one was kind of a fluke. Couple more. We'll see what we can get. Oh, that was close. That was close. I almost got the 777. Last one here. Didn't get it. That's pretty standard. Like I said, pretty standard. What you typically want to do is, like I said, kind of save state abuse your way to victory. You want to try to manipulate it so that, hey, I do like 5 sessions. If I win, then I save it. If I lose, then I just kind of reload the save. That's how most people do it. That's how I did it. If you head over here, though, you can find yourself a Pokeball with an ether in it. Let's go ahead and put that in the items pocket. Not that I'm probably ever going to use all my ethers, but here is the Game Freak development room. You can head in the back here. It's not very difficult to find, doesn't require cut or anything like that, but as a result, we are able to make it up this back way. And once we do make it up the back way, we can find this room. Does this room have a name? I know everything! He kind of does. It's kind of freaky. There is nothing I don't know. Like I wrote on the blackboard, I know about the world of Pokemon in your Game Boy Advance. This guy doesn't break the fourth wall. He just kicks it into submission. Holy crap. Get together with your friends and enjoy trading Pokemon. Some people say this is the only guy in the game to break the fourth wall, but we didn't meet the developers. You have to remember. This guy does break the fourth wall entirely. He's just like, you have a Game Boy Advance. Like, how'd you know? You're not supposed to know that. It's a pamphlet on TMs. There are 50 TMs in all. There are also 7 HMs that can be used repeatedly. Silphco. Apparently Silphco makes some good stuff. Apparently they have a scope as well. So what does he talk about? In this version, at least, he talks about playing with a wireless adapter. So we're not going to pay attention to any of that. Even if I had that function available to me, I wouldn't use it. And I don't believe it's available to me. But what you really come here for is this. It's an Eevee. It's an actual Pokemon. You just get it. Hence, it's a gift Pokemon, and I have already banned that from the Let's Play. So I will not be giving a nickname to Eevee because I'm not going to be using Eevee whatsoever. And it pains me because I usually do. What I usually do with Eevee is evolve it. And we'll go over how to evolve it a little bit later. For the time being, we are done here. Yeah, when we look at Eevee, we'll go over what you can do with it. It's kind of a strange, unique Pokemon. But for the time being, let's continue exploring around just a little bit. There's only one place left, I believe, for me to explore, and that is through here. This tree looks like it can be cut down. I would indeed like to cut it. So, what is through all this? Well, of course, it is the gym. And this guy. I like this guy. Actually, no, I don't. The nature-loving princess. Well, I wouldn't like him personally, but I like that they put him in. This gym is great. It's full of women. I love this guy, not because he's a perv, but because he's a perv that's also very, very stupid. Here's the window. He's covering the sign that says gym. He is staring where it says gym and being perverted. It's just so weird that I love it. But that is pretty much all of Celadon City for the time being. Of course, we need to go back and find ourselves all the hidden items, and then we can get ready to go into the gym. But first, I do want to go over the new Pokemon that I did get. So let me go get out of the box, and we'll take a look at Eevee. Pulled Eevee out of the box. Let's take a look at him. As you can see, when we do not name Eevee, when you do not name really any Pokemon, it comes to you with all capital letters. That way you know it's Eevee. So Eevee comes to you at level 25, which is pretty high considering that some of my Pokemon aren't even that high right now. But that's really just to make sure that you consider using Eevee in your party. Eevee is adorable. It's, I don't know, a fox dog? It's cute, whatever it is. It's some kind of combination of a couple cute baby animals. It is naive in nature, which means higher speed at the expense of special defense. That's not particularly good for Eevee, but to be honest, I'm not really going to be using Eevee. It would actually be pretty good for what I would turn Eevee into normally, but we'll go over that in a bit. It is a normal type Pokemon. That is kind of misleading. We'll kind of go over that more later. Because nobody ever keeps an Eevee. Except for the kid in the anime, and that kid was stupid. As you can see, the stats aren't really that good. Eevee actually has very, very low stats, considering, and it is not particularly useful. As a Pokemon in and of itself. Its usefulness is in its evolved states. It has an ability for runaway, makes escaping easier. I guess that's good. As you can see, its speed is actually its highest stat. Normally, it's special defense, but the effect of the nature makes the speed a little bit higher and special defense a little lower. So overall, speed is the higher stat. Slightly better attack than special attack. That's pretty standard. Normally it's a little bit higher than that. And as you can see, Eevee's moves suck, at least when we first get it. The only thing that is new is Helping Hand. Everything else we have seen before. Helping Hand is a non-damaging move, a move that boosts the power of an ally's attack in a battle. The way that this works is not good for most of the game. It only works in double battles. Also triple battles, but there are no triple battles in this game as far as I know. I'm pretty sure on that. Double battles, though, we have encountered one that can come up. It boosts the power of your ally's attack by 50% the next turn. So should I have Eevee and Somja in a battle, Eevee uses Helping Hand. Helping Hand does have a high priority, so it should go first. Then Somja will use, I don't know, Razor Leaf. That Razor Leaf will be boosted thanks to Helping Hand, which is kind of useful. Like, there's certain situations where that might be helpful, but overall, it's just not a move that I'm interested in, because most of what I'm going to be doing is single battling. So I just don't care all that much. If you use it in a single battle, it'll just say it failed constantly. It'll just be like, oh, I failed. Sorry. Let's take a look at the Pokédex entry for Eevee, though. If I can, I don't remember what it was. I think it was an urban Pokemon. it should be. No, that's all we got? Come on, urban Pokemon. There we go, Eevee. It is an evolution Pokemon. It's about a foot tall. It weighs about 14 pounds. Its paw print vaguely resembles a heart, kind of, except for that middle claw, I think you would call it. I don't know. For Eevee, there we go. Its genetics code is irregular. It may mutate if it is exposed to radiation from element stones. And I think this is kind of buried. Like, if you don't want to look at the Pokédex, you're not going to, but they really should fill in your Pokédex entry and make you look at it when you get Eevee, because this is the most important thing about Eevee, is that it evolves. That's kind of why they named it Eevee, because it evolves. Now, in this version of the game, for the time being, there are 3 Pokemon that we can turn it into. If you're playing the first generation of the game, there are 3 Pokemon that you can turn it into. For the time being here, we also just have the 3 options. Of course, I don't have any options, but there are 3 that you can do. Those are fire, water, and electric, which is why most people forget that Leaf is actually available in this game, because Eevee doesn't use a Leaf Stone. It doesn't evolve into a grass type Pokemon in this version of the game, so a lot of people kind of forget that Leaf Stone is in the original versions of the game. If you give it a Fire Stone, or flame, I'm pretty sure it's Firestone, the flame one, whatever one it is, it turns into Flareon. Now, Flareon is a good physical attacker, pretty good special defense, but ultimately it is a fire Pokemon, and therefore I'm not a big fan of it. It's good for a fire type, but there are probably 2 or 3 better fire types out there, and fire's not that great of a type in this version anyway. Once again, it's kind of a physical attacker, yet it's a fire type, so it doesn't necessarily work all that well, and that one is probably the weakest of the 3 evolutions of Eevee, at least in my opinion, for these generations of the game. I don't like Flareon. Then we have the Water Stone. We'll turn it into Vaporeon. Now, Vaporeon is primarily seen as a defensive tank, primarily special defense, mostly because of its high amount of HP. It does have a very good special attack, and there are some very powerful water moves and ice moves that it can learn, so it's a solid option for you. But once again, kind of in my opinion, there are better ones out there, especially water types. There are so many water types in the game, I don't particularly want to waste my Eevee on that. I would much rather get the 3rd type, which would be the Thunderstone version, the electric version, Jolteon, in my opinion, the best electric type in the game. And remember that I love my electric types in this game. It is very fast. Very fast. It's actually tied for 2nd fastest in the game, Jolteon. It also has a pretty damn good special attack. So that's really all you need, but in case that's not enough, it also has a decent special defense. It's not very good at physical defense. It doesn't have that much HP, so if it gets hit, it can die. But if you can get a Thunderbolt off pretty early on, and you know your opponent's weak to electricity, Jolteon will probably kill it. That, as a result, I do love my Jolteon, and I would usually have a Jolteon. I would just get Eevee, evolve it into a Jolteon immediately, and then just level grind Jolteon, and Jolteon usually would make it to my final party in this game. However, because it is a gift Pokemon and I can't evolve it, Eevee's gonna go back in the box forever. So Eevee, interesting Pokemon, not particularly useful for my purposes in this Let's Play.